I believe I should go over every single schedule that each team is playing. I mean, that each team put out, which every single team did put out, but over whichever single team, I'm gonna go over every single schedule and I'm gonna have my reactions and I'm gonna give my predictions for all 32 teams. I think that'll be really fun. I already do predictions every single week when the season starts, so every single day I'll probably do like I'll do the Rams, and then the next day I'll do the Chargers, the next day I'll do the Lions, the next day I'll do the Seahawks, the next day I'll do the Jaguars. So I think that'll be pretty cool and pretty interesting. And then I'm gonna and then I'll see what the record is for each team based on their wins and losses. When I go through all, what is it? I think it's 18 weeks now. When I go through all 18 weeks of the season, of the games, and that's just going to determine my football knowledge right there as well. Because I already give each team wins and losses throughout every single week, and I'll do that again during the season because things change, people get hurt, guys get traded, etc., etc., etc. And so I'm still going to do the weekly predictions, but before the season starts, I will like to give my predictions before the season starts, and then I already gave you all who are my Super Bowl winners, but I can even go deeper into like to this schedule predictions of who's going to make the playoffs, who's going to win out into the playoffs, who's going to go all the way, how the Chargers and the Rams are going to go throughout the playoffs, winning these games. So I think that'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty fun and very interesting. And you want to let me know how you feel about that. But like I said, Rams Chargers. I know the irony is there because because the Super Bowl is in LA. But my thing is that the Rams and the Chargers, the Rams is looking really really good. The Rams looked like they had a shot to go to the Super Bowl last year, and they addressed their team needs in free agency by picking up two substantial two freaking great corners from the Chiefs. So Matthew Stafford, he's looking phenomenal. He's looking like, I mean, he hasn't looked like he lost a step. I mean, when last year in the offseason when he was dealing with that back injury, the back pain, it was, to me, I was like, okay, he's like 40. I think he's like nearly 40 years old, and he hasn't really participated at all year in the offseason, but he comes out and he wins an MVP. So Matthew Stafford really hasn't lost a step at all. I mean, it was a really, really great season last year for Matthew Stafford. So I'm really looking forward to see what they're gonna do this year again. It's now that they got a really great now they addressed those holes in that defensive side of the ball. It's going to be very exciting to see what the Rams can do and what the Chargers can do. And I'll talk about the Rams, talk about the Chargers, talk about the two teams right now because they're my two teams that I think that I predicted to play in the SoFi. I lost LA next year, Inglewood. So Chargers, they've had one of the most exciting off seasons than almost any team in the NFL. Picking up Mike McDaniel, might be pairing Mike McDaniel with Justin Herbert. And then the draft that they had, what they did in free agency, addressing the offensive line. Slater and all can stay healthy, they're going to be held for any team they play against. So we do have. I know not the Rams is not everybody's Super Bowl pick. So the Chargers are playing some NFC teams, and I can't remember. I know they're playing against the Cardinals first week, and they're playing the Niners in December. So that's going to be very exciting. For some people, that could be a Super Bowl preview right there. The Niners and the Chargers. That wouldn't be a bad Super Bowl. So, but I think the Rams will have something to say about the Niners going. The Rams are just a much better team than the Niners. The Niners are a little bit questionable. I think the Niners are almost going to be in rebuilding stage. The Niners, they lost too many guys on defense, and they still got I forget their coach's name. My mind is blank right now, but they still got a great coach. That guy, he's a phenomenal coach. I mean, anytime you have him as your coach, you've always got a shot. You always got a chance. But I really want to see if Brock Purdy can really prevail, minus all the offensive power that he has. So I mean, he did play well last. Kind of hard to see, evaluate all of that. But guys are getting older. Trent Williams is getting older. Trent Williams hasn't really lost a step, but still, it's going to be interesting to see what Ricky Pearsall can do. I haven't really seen much from Ricky Pearsall, but it's going to be interesting to see if he can take that next step. You still got George Kittle. You still got Christian McCaffrey. You got guys on that ball, on that offensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball, I can't really think at the top of my head who really scares me. But I mean, then you lost Robert Saleh again to the Tennessee Titans. So how is that defense going to look? So I mean, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, we're just going to see about the Niners, about the 49ers, how they're going to end up. They didn't really have a really good season last year for real, but we'll find out. The Chargers playing them December 17th, I think. So that's going to be fun. Chargers playing them at home. I see that as a dub. Definitely as a dub. The Chargers are going to be held for any time by them. I'm telling y'all right now. Chargers don't get enough respect, which they shouldn't. They don't deserve the respect because they have not really. They've always came up short. Ever since for as long as I can remember, they always came up short. The only time when they really haven't came up short in recent, like, only time they haven't came up short, period, is when they went to the Super Bowl and they got the hell beat out of them. I think it was by the 49ers. So I mean, the Chargers has always been that team that just always shoots themselves in the foot, always. And they've always been the team where there's a lot of hype in the offseason and they just find ways to lose. That's why they say Charger. Like, the Chargers always feel ways to charge you. But I mean, we have a coach now. We got Jim Harbaugh. He's in his third year. We got a GM who looks like he knows what he's doing, making great moves. The only question mark I have for Joe Ortiz is that he can be a little bit cheap sometimes. He's not really big on spending big in the free agency. If there's an obvious guy out there that can instantly elevate the Chargers, I do get it. You don't want to put all that money to one player. I understand that. But at the same time, you got to get over yourself. Look what look what the Eagles do. The Eagles, I feel like they have the best GM owner in the entire NFL. What the Eagles do, man. Howie Roseman, phenomenal GM. I study him like a book because I love how he plays the game. I love how he manages the team. The Eagles are so great because of him. Really. And if you guys really think about it, the Eagles are always the team that knocked the dynasty team off the hill. What they did that to the Patriots. They knocked Tom Brady off the hill. Got that one little dub. Nick Foles came out there and won. And they did it to the Chiefs not too long ago. The Eagles has been to the Super Bowl 2 years in the past, 5 years? So you can't discredit the Eagles, man. Whether you're an Eagle fan or not, you need to respect them. You gotta respect them. You gotta respect how that franchise is ran. They are the best ran franchise in all of football. I honestly believe that. They really are. I mean, now you got the situation with the AJ Brown. I get it, but still, man, how the Eagles run things, man. How they draft. They're not cheap, and they don't overspend on guys. When they drop the check for players, it's not overspending. It's for guys who come out there and they really freaking can play. And they are guys who can evolve the game. Who has evolved the game, but who can evolve that team. So that's my only thing about Joe Ortiz. I think if Joe Ortiz can get a little bit out of his ways and do that, what the Eagles do, Joe Ortiz will be instantly one of the best GMs in the league as well, if not the best, because he knows how to draft. He drafts very well. He does really good in trades. He does a phenomenal job in trading guys, getting guys in trades. He does a phenomenal job in getting guys for peanuts. He is looking like a freaking expert in that. Getting guys for peanuts, going out, having them sign with the Chargers, and Jim Harbaugh squeezes every single ounce a bit of that he can out of that guy, and that guy goes out and plays better than he probably has ever played since he's been in the league. Look what Elijah Molden did. We got Elijah Molden from the Titans, and look what he's did. He's been playing very good. Oweh, he's played great for the Chargers, better for the Chargers than any of his years in Baltimore. The Baltimore Raven fans was like, Oweh has done nothing for us. He's a bust, etc., etc., etc. He comes and he plays lights out for the Chargers, plays really well. I think he had 11 sacks, and he gets a big contract for the Commanders. That's because he went to the Chargers, signed on a 1-year contract for peanuts. He plays his ass off, and he gets a big contract with the Commanders. Same thing with who the Rams got from us, Poona Ford. He stays in LA. He just switched lockers on the opposite side, go for the Chargers to the Rams. Poona Ford, the Rams got a steal, but it wasn't really a steal. The Chargers got what they could out of Poona Ford, got Poona Ford for a 1-year deal, and we Poona Ford goes to the Rams. So that's what I'm saying, on a nice contract. And that's what I'm saying. So it's not like the Chargers didn't want to re-sign those guys, but Joe Ortiz is a little bit too cheap, and he's like, this is our number. And they're like, I don't like your number. I'm going to go test the free agency out. That's what Poona Ford did. That's what Oweh did. They both signed, and they both, got the contracts as they deserve. If you can get more money for another team and you're willing to move, you're not that committed and loyal to that team. And then I'm not saying any players should. I honestly don't think players should be overly committed and loyal to a team, because a team is not overly committed and loyal to the players. So I'm happy for those guys. I like that strategy. I like that system. It's like, hey, the Chargers is going to be a team for guys who has been overlooked or who are probably not living up to expectations when they were drafted. And look, we are the Chargers. We can get you guys over here. You guys play well. You get great coaching. You get a great facility. You get great training. You're in LA. You got a great franchise, a great organization, a great environment. Jim Harbaugh is going to coach you up, going to get the very best out of you. You play your ass off for us. That's going to help us, but it's also going to help you in return, because you don't have to stay committed to us. We're going to give you a number at the end of the season. If you don't like that number, we want you to go out and look for other teams that can match the number that you want. I love that the Chargers do that. That is the brand, that is the system that the Chargers, that Jim Harbaugh is pushing out across the entire league. And what's going to happen is a lot of guys who are probably on the back burner of their career, or who has not lived up to the expectations after they got drafted, they're going to be looking at LA. People are like, maybe I can go to LA and play for a year, play my ass off. And if things don't work out with me staying in LA, I can go somewhere else. So that's a brilliant strategy what Jim Harbaugh is doing. And he's also doing it for coaches too. He's like, these coaches come over here, they can coach their ass off, and I will help them. And just them coaching their ass off, that's the team. That's the tape. We can get them into as a head coach or a better job somewhere else. So brilliant strategy what Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz are doing. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. It's a trade-off. NFL is a capitalist league, and that's what makes the NFL so great. And the Chargers are really running on that capitalist system. So that's all I got right now. That was the top of my head. And I'm going to do some videos before the season starts on my predictions on all 32 teams, on their schedule. And we'll be back very, very soon. And you all have a great day. All day, no days off.